Are you ready to get real? Welcome to real estate, the world's loneliest career, where you're always out of balance, unfulfilled, the role models are fake, the numbers unattainable, and you're just supposed to be and do it all. Join self-made millionaire real estate agents, wives, moms, and business owners as we level up, learn from special guests, and elevate and disrupt an entire industry through real education our way.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, we are so excited to be with you this morning. We are with, I hope, a new friend that I met over the weekend in Dallas. His name is JAYJAY, and he is an international motivational speaker. He helps people develop and curate and streamline their personal brands. He's also a magician, which I think is incredible, one of the coolest things on the planet. But he was one of my very favorite speakers out of everybody that was on the stage this weekend, just because of his energy and his authenticity, and then also just the knowledge that he has to share with everybody. And he also wears the most incredible shoes I've ever seen in my life. He was wearing bright yellow Jordans, just FYI. So JAYJAY, tell us what we need to know about branding, marketing ourselves, all the things as the world's kind of changing around us a little bit right now.
Sure. Well, I appreciate you ladies having me on. Like, it's an honor to be able to share some energy and enthusiasm and wisdom with, your people who look at you guys every week, looking for that edge, looking for that win. And I think the first thing we got to do is take our ego out of it to transition it. I think where a lot of realtors, a lot of clients I have, they've been doing it a certain way for so long and it was working. But now with, as we said before the call, things are changing. The way for customers to buy are changing all the time. The way we connect, the way we communicate is different. And I think a lot of people are afraid to get off their pedestal and have to start again.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is I'm going to share some stuff today. Be more of a student rather than, who are you, Jay? Why should I listen to you? And I speak. Treat me like an a la carte menu. When you have have you ever been to a 16-course menu? You don't know if you're going to like everything, but you at least try everything. Mm-hmm. Whether you swallow it or spit it out or put it in a napkin, at least. And that's all I ask for today, because I'm going to throw some things out for the time that we have. Some things will stick and some things won't, but just be open to it.
Love that. Yeah. I think agents, I was talking to someone about this in Dallas over the weekend, but I don't know why, and Angela and I talk about this all the time. Both of us have been in the industry over 20 years. Nothing has really changed that much as far as what agents are doing, but the entire world has changed around the agents. So it's really weird and not right.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of success on accident, right? And so I feel like we need to make sure that, people are being more purposeful in the way that they're marketing themselves. I'm sure he'll jump back in here in a second.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is weird to me. I feel like he's totally right that people have been doing the same thing for 20 or 30. It's funny that we laugh about those agents who get on the phone and they're like, I've been doing this for 20 years. But the funny part about it is most of the other agents that are laughing about that are still doing the same things than that.
Right.
20. You know what I mean?
Just because it's worked for a while doesn't mean that it's going to continue to work through this market and for the rest of your life. Right. So if you don't change something, you're going to be left behind 100%.
Yeah. And, it's there's a lot changing right now. And I'm still talking to a few people. Oh, yay, we have JAYJAY back here.
What happened?
I don't know what happened
here. I don't know. Let's continue.
Yes, please continue. We were just
Angela, it was you.
You're fine. I finished.
We're just chit-chatting about. We were talking about how it's funny that agents have been doing the same thing for 20, 30 years. And like, we all make fun of those agents that are like, oh, I've been doing this for 30 years. But like, in reality, they're doing the same thing as the agents that have been doing it for like, people haven't really, the world's changed around the real estate agent, but the real estate agent hasn't changed with the world, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, look, at the end of the day, people buy from people. You know, a house isn't you're not buying a house, you're buying from the person who's selling you the house. So like the classic, you know, relationship capital is super important. How you connect with people is important. People want to buy, they don't want to be sold to, you know, classics. I just think people, and I said this on a show I did this morning, I think sometimes people forget they have to put the runs on the board. Why you girls are successful is you've had runs on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you aren't 2 years in trying to like close 50 deals a month, right? I think half the time is from the people I've coached in real estate. And at the end of the day, I help people sell themselves. We got to find our mojo. We got to know where we come alive. We got to know our strengths. Like, I'm amazing in person and as a speaker. I'm not saying marketing isn't important in that way, but I know the more people I can feel like, you know, like I did with you, Lindsay, it's like the more people I can connect with like that, they get me. So I think a lot of times throughout your journey, you got to find where you best shine. And then a lot of people aren't willing to put in the time. They see some girl on Instagram do some posts with a house. Well, she can do it. Why can't I? Well, we don't know her story. And is she really killing it, or is she telling the world she's killing it?
Right. Usually the people telling the world they're killing it aren't actually killing it. So
yeah. Listen, I have a huge mouth. I know my mouth, Australian mouth, but when it all goes away, I have results. Like when people want to try to take me down, and they always want to try to take me down, I have pages of testimonials, results after results. Like, so like I can keep talking, but most people do this and then I look at them and they have nothing to show for it. Then trust. The biggest problem is trust. I don't buy from you. It's not because you're not the right fit. Something about you hasn't made me take my credit card out and work with you, you know?
So how do people earn that trust quickly and efficiently as agents?
Yeah, great question. I think the fastest way and the free way is to obviously use this baby in front of you, right? I do this thing with clients. I call it the 30-day live. You go live every day at the same time, whether you have 2 people following you or 2,000 people following you. 3 things happen. First thing is you get out of your head. The biggest reason why most people don't put themselves out there, other than fear, it's because they're in their head, right? What is she going to think of me? What are they going to say? How am I going to look, right? So you got to get out of your head. Second thing is that you connect instantly with an audience. You don't have to press a button and do a filter. You come up, oh, hey, Angela, hey, great to see you. Hey, Angela, let me ask you a question. In the next 6 months, are you buying or selling? Hey, Angela, let me ask you a question. Who do you have that you know that could be a client of mine? As she's on the phone, she feels connected with, you feel connected, right? And the third thing is your confidence just shoots through the roof. You feel validated. You feel important. You feel people care.
Okay.
And what happens if no one is on your first live? Do you quit?
No, just like if no one, that's like saying if no one buys your first home, do you quit? No, you keep going, you know?
Is there a consistent message that people should have when they're going live, or are they just going live about random stuff?
No, great question. You remember, you have to be the expert, because if people have the pain or problem, they're looking for the solution. So I'm not saying don't infuse your personality with the way you be authentic, but like I want people to know when it comes to like getting them out there on a larger level, global, I want them to think of me. And as we said before the call, the problem is your messaging isn't clear. A lot of people, have you ever lost out on a deal, girls, where someone's like, I didn't know you did luxury.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you did residential. And you're like, oh my gosh, whose fault is that? Because you weren't really defining that you do all these other things. So people only see what they see.
Right.
I'll have people come up to me and they're like, so you do like some social media stuff, right? Like you get people's likes on Instagram. I'm like, is that what you think of me? Wow, we're having a team meeting. immediately. You know,
Yeah.
but a messaging is super important in this space, because when people are confused, they don't buy. They don't really know what you do. Like, I know she does real estate, but she's like, one day she's posting in Tulum, next day she's posting in Miami, then she's showing a house. Yeah, I don't know if I want to give her my $2 million property.
Right.
Do
What
you
time
really?
should they go live? Sorry. What time should they go live? And
Yeah.
does it matter?
So, I like two styles. I like doing it in the morning because it's a great way to start your day, walking with the dog, the kids, having a coffee, but then also like do one at the evening as well, because that's when most people are at home. And the outcome of this, other than your confidence, is to engage an audience, to learn how to communicate, to learn how to be able to say, hey, Angela, awesome, great to hear from you. What questions do you have for me in real estate? And it could be something simple. You may be thinking, well, do I buy and sell in Florida?
Yep.
So what's your opinion on the personal versus the business Facebook page? Like, I feel like this is debated by every speaker, every teacher. Are you going live on your personal page? Do you go live on your business page? What do you think about that?
Where should they go live, Lindsay?
Well, should people run like a separate business page from like a personal page? That's like a hotly debated topic in our industry for some bizarre reason all the time. Like,
Yeah, I have realtors with EXP underneath, like, that work with me, and they like, I want a business and a personal. The problem with it is, like, your personality infuses with what you do. So unless you're a brand, right? Like, EXP is different than the founder. I get that. But most people are selling them. So, like, have one,
yeah.
and then people are saying, but I don't want to share some things, I want to keep private. Then don't even post it.
Right.
like gone are the days.
Anyway.
And here's the deal: gone are the days where you're allowed to be private. I just, look the way people do get job applications now. They don't look at the resume. They like make sure nothing's online that's going to be an issue for our company. So the moment something's private, what is she hiding? Why is she hidden? We don't. I don't know if we want to invest with her. Now, to give context, that doesn't mean you have to share everything, Lindsay. That doesn't mean you have to share like your deepest, darkest secrets. I shared that on stage, but you do need to reveal some personality, because how many realtors are there in the world now? How many
Well,
people?
how do you help the people? Okay, sounds like a terrible question, but it's like a real thing. How do you help the people that don't have a lot of personality or aren't comfortable with sharing it online? Because like we see that a lot too. Like, so many top producers or people in general, like they're sharing went to lunch today. Like, it literally sounds like a robot is on their social media, right? Like, how do you help people? I guess by going live every 30 days, right? But how do you get people to be comfortable with being themselves online in such a big space?
Well, the first step is pushing them in the deep end. How like flip the question on yourself. How does a realtor become better? Because then they go out to more showings. They go out and try to learn how to work the room better, how to sell better. So I think the end of the day, you need people like me to give you the belief, to be like, yo, let's go, put yourself out there, and there's no trick. There's no, you got to push yourself in the deep end. And then at the end of the day, it comes down to the person, if they want it that bad.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, and we noticed this too at the event, it's the fear that stops them. It's not, they know it, don't think it's important. They know they'll make money from it. They've seen other people in their space that are uglier than them, that aren't as cool, and they're making it.
Yeah.
They know it. I ask them these hard questions. Like, you and I both know the reason why. It's not because you don't have strategy. It's because you're scared. So let's just own it. Let's voice it. Let's find a way to fix it. Whether you work with me or you girls, I don't care. I care that you do something. Right?
Yeah. Is there a certain type of platform that's better than another, like Facebook versus Reels versus Instagram Reels versus TikTok versus it's so overwhelming to me personally. Like
Right.
I don't know what I'm supposed
I
to
get
do.
it.
And so I
I
don't do
get
anything.
it. Yeah.
Right. I'm like,
Yeah.
paralyzed.
Don't ask Gary V. He'll be like, do everything, 5
Right.
million pieces of content a day. I'm like, Gary, relax. You have a team of 700.
Right.
You know, Mr. Wine Library TV, like relax. Mr. Vaynerchuk. No, so I love Gary. But, you know, I really, in my opinion, I just think play to where a lot of the people are going to play. You know, at the end of the day, if you want to be a luxury realtor, you're probably not going to go to the cheapest area where you live, right? It's pretty logic. So like also play to where people play. Like Instagram is great because it's a great platform. We know a lot of people go on there to vet someone. You know, I think there are powerful things for reels as well. But here's the problem that I've found with this new reels and all this stuff. You girls know these people too. They spend more time on the reels than they do the business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's an attention tool. That's not a bad thing, but it's a marketing strategy. But don't spend all your time on that without any follow through.
Right.
You know, and I think a lot of people are not. You know, they hear one lady that does, you know, the big deals from that, and the illusion, they forget. It's like that's for one person, and she's done it for 3 years, so she's comfortable of doing videos. But one person does something, everybody follows, and they realize, well, I don't have any time. You spend 4 hours a day jumping around on your phone.
Yeah. 100%.
So
we seem to have like 3 categories, I think, of people in the real estate business. The people who don't sell any houses, the people who sell a whole ton of houses, but like aren't telling anybody that they're selling a ton of houses because they're busy selling houses, or you've got like the influencers. And I'm not really sure if they're selling a ton of houses or not, but they're really big and they're really out there, right? But like I feel like the other 2, the people that aren't selling anything, need to learn how to have an online presence. The top producers need to get better at telling people, right, that they're the experts. And yeah, I think we could all be a little bit more influencer-ish, but I think it is fear. I mean, the average age of 68% of all real estate agents are women, and the average age of a real estate agent is like 52 years old. So I think it's very overwhelming.
is it really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
It's changing now, but yeah, it's, you know, so those are the people that are like, oh my God, I don't, how do I use this Instagram thing that my children use, you know? So
yeah, and you know, and you guys know this too. A lot of people get in thinking it's like real estate is just like a piece of pie. You just come in, I'm just going to close 4 deals. I can walk around. I'm really good at sales. Okay. Let me know how that goes for you.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to be really good at growing a really awesome sphere that's very loyal to you, and you have to earn that. Otherwise, you're going to be poor.
Yeah.
Just
It's a business.
Nobody wants to be
It's a business.
Yeah.
This is a business. This isn't a hobby. This isn't you just hanging out. Like you want to play, but you're going to get eaten by the sharks. So like, and it's the same thing in my world too. People think, oh, I'm just going to like, you know, buy some likes and, you know, get verified. I'm like, you can do all that stuff, but like eventually like that stuff's going to crack and your content and your character is going to come through. And if you get a chance to sit at the table and you don't deliver, you're done. It's not like, oh, well, next time we'll give you a chance, you're done. If I was Jay-Z, and no, if I knew Jay-Z and you were a singer and I gave you an opportunity to like go to his place and like sing and you get up, you're done. Like he's be like one text. He's like, don't anyone ever hire her. You're like, oh, Jay-Z, okay.
Yeah, you're fucking done forever, right?
Yeah, you're done, man. You know, so it's, you know, it's just like put the runs on the board. Learn from you ladies. You know, this is what I love about these podcasts because it's a reality, you know.
Yeah.
I talk a lot, but I make sure I do what I say. You know, I do my lives every day. You know, I make my calls. Like, you know, I push through because like this is the reality now.
Yeah.
I totally think we should do a Homegirls 30-day live challenge.
Oh, I need accountability. That's what I need for that. I think
Listen, and I have a coaching program that's all realtors. It's funny. And the number one thing that they've had wins with is accountability. Like no one's holding me accountable every day, and no one ever has. And we use money to pay me to help with my team to hold them accountable for that.
Well,
It's amazing what happens, right?
Like in real estate, you can throw a rock, and I have a good throwing arm, and I can still hit 57 coaches, right? But I couldn't count on one hand the number of social media presence coaches that I like. Literally, I don't even know what to call you guys. First of all, people who help you grow your branding coaches. I could not throw a rock and hit any of those people. I don't even know that they exist outside of you and one other that I can think of. But so you can go out and get coaching and accountability on like everything else, but not that. So like I came home from Dallas and I was like, I'm going to do the 30-day TikTok challenge and I'm going to post to TikTok 4 times a day. And I came home on Saturday. I did it on Sunday. I did it on Monday. Now today is Tuesday. I'm already slipping, right? But like, I think a lot of people in our space don't even know that there are coaches out there for this space like you. Like they think that and I think that is part of why they don't jump in, because they think they're all on their own. They think they have to figure it out all on their own. They got to go
right.
watch the celebrities on TikTok or Instagram, and that's how they're going to figure it out. So we'll link it in the show notes, but please tell everybody how your programs work and how they can get in touch with you for coaching on building a brand.
Yeah. If something I've said resonated with you, if you feel like you're lacking with accountability or strategy, or like that you're making money and you're like, listen, I need to be the go-to. I needed people to come to me first. I want to get media opportunities. I can help you do that. So aceofspadesagency.com, ACEOF spadesagency.com. And I tell everybody, only do it if you have the 3 C's. Can I share the 3 C's?
Yes, please.
One of them better be cash.
Yeah. Just let me close it. That's the 4th C. But the first C is commitment, right? I need you all in. Like, why should I be all in if you aren't, right? Second thing is I need you to be coachable. I'm the expert. You're the student. Don't come through and want to do it your way. I've had that happen before. We do it, they do it their way. I'm like, you're out. Like you've got a problem. You're coming for help and you want to do it your way. That ain't going to work. And the last thing is Whole Foods don't take fist bumps and high fives. They take cash. And if it's not the right time for you, I get that. I've been there. I know, like, make sure that you pay rent and eat first, but you've got to invest in yourself. And it isn't going to be one thing, ladies. Don't you hate that when people are like, well, I invested with this one coach 2 years ago. It was the worst experience. Great. So if you have sushi one time in your life and it was bad, do you ever eat sushi again? Yes, you do. So it's a learning curve in the whole run,
I think agents are afraid of that notion that you have to spend money to make money. Like you have to do this.
It amazes me.
Business. This is a thing.
They're proud of it. It goes beyond just like they're proud of it. Like we understand that this is probably the lowest cash to, like lowest barrier to entry of any job where you can make real money on the planet. But they're like proud of their profit margin being 0. And then they're like, well, I'm not growing. And I'm like,
right. If you think about it logically, like what would you pay to go to college? Because 99% of us didn't go to college. Several $100,000, but you're not willing to invest a single dime in yourself and your business to grow it. That makes no freaking sense. Like you're just an idiot, honestly. Like you have to spend that money to get better. Otherwise you're going to keep doing what you've been doing, which for some people is enough, but most people it isn't.
I try and always put the question back on everybody else. I'm like, okay, cool. So you want to grow? Awesome. So how much did you invest in your business in the last 3 months?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing. Okay, cool. So, and you're trying to close that $2 million property. Great. And you want them to give you money. Cool. And you haven't invested in you yet. And I want to let that pin drop. And then you know what happens? Can I be really like transparent? Then the real fear comes out. I'm scared. I got burned before. I don't know what to do. Good. Thank you for sharing. Let's fix that. It's masking the feeling of like, actually they don't want to grow. They're scared to grow. They're scared to put themselves out there. They're scared to maybe be rejected. That's the reason. Yeah.
I think the massive fear is you're scared of actual success. Like what comes with that? You're afraid of that because you then have to feel like you have to maintain that. So how do you maintain that?
Yeah.
You're going to be scared about something. Why not be scared about how successful you're going to be and how you're going to spend your money, I guess. I don't know. And how much freedom you're going to have.
You do. You know. Well, can I jump in and change your mindset? Yeah. You do know. It's just we need people like us to give people the the validation and the appreciation and the push and the motivation and like, yo, let's go. And like, one thing I love saying, and I'll close it on this because I have to go, is like, why not me? Everybody listening, ask yourself those 3 words. Why not me? Why not me? Yeah, you're right. Why not me? Why can't I have that life? Why not me? If they have it, why not me? It's such a refreshing way to look at it. You want the Range Rover? Why not me? You want the G-Wagon? You want the house in Beverly Hills? Why not me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Why not me?
Yeah. It'll take a lot of work, but the biggest work is going to happen right here. It's
always mindset.
It's always up there. So
we are so thankful for your time today. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. You are amazing. I will link your Ace of Spades agency for everybody in the show notes. And if you guys ever get a chance to see JJ on stage, do it, because he was super, super impactful and real and authentic for me. One of my very favorites out of 4 whole days. So yes.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate it. And let's do this again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
He's awesome.
He is. I mean, the accent, for the love of God.
I know. I'm like, just here's my credit card number. Just take it.
I know. And then he had these hot yellow oranges on stage. Jordans. What is an orange? Hot yellow Jordans on stage. And I was like, I love this man. He has good shoes. But yeah, I mean, I don't get like why social media is probably the number 1 most important thing in the entire real estate space right now. But it's like the number 1 thing that agents aren't doing or struggling with so bad. What?
I agree. I think it's a big issue. And most agents that are not super busy, it's because they're not putting themselves out there in one way or another, or multiple ways or another. They're just deciding, well, I'm not going to put myself out there for that reason on that type of platform. But the people that aren't doing that are the ones that are losing big time.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. So I was like a super early adopter of Facebook, like super early. You know, like I think I was probably like one of 2 or 3 agents in the whole state. And like the other one of the 3 was you, doing real estate on Facebook, like in the very beginning, you know? And then I was actually one of the first like 1,000 people in the whole United States that got an invite to be on Instagram, which is really weird. Long story, but I do Instagram really well, but Instagram is kind of like, that's my private me, right? So like, that's where it's just my close friends. I'm in really close engagement with people there. But I'll be honest. I mean, like, even though I've done social media in a way that I feel is well for a long time, I'm starting to feel overwhelmed with it because there are new platforms. And it's not just that there's so many new platforms and new ways to do things. It's also like the game has changed. Like, you have real estate agents that are verified. Like, they have the blue freaking check, like Beyonce. Like, it's crazy to me, right? Like, you have real estate agents who get millions of views on a TikTok or on a reel or on a post, hundreds of thousands of likes, right? So like, there are influencers in our space. And even though I feel like I have influence over my space, I'm overwhelmed by the game's changed, right? So like, I can't even imagine trying to jump into it right now when you've never done it before.
I think it's super overwhelming and people don't know what platform to focus on. And they're trying to do all of them, and doing all of them badly is a really bad choice. You know, I don't understand TikTok for shit. I don't understand Instagram for shit. Like, I don't get it. I don't know how the hashtags work. I don't get it. But I understand Facebook pretty well. But that's about it, you know, and that's how I built my business. So I just picked one and I'm fairly good at it. And I honestly don't really post a ton of real estate related content. I feel like maybe that's where I'm missing out. Maybe I should be posting more real estate related content. And, you know, what he was saying was, you know, about the going live. Do I go live on Facebook and just do Facebook Live? Do I also go live on TikTok?
It's hard, man. I mean, like, I've heard, first of all, I do think like I'm to the point where I have been feeling for a little while where like I do want to hire a coach. So I think if you are like, if that's a thing that you can do, like, you know, Lauren Taylor, we had her on the show. She's a TikTok coach. JJ, who we just had on, is a branding coach, right? Like, there are Reels coaches and Instagram coaches. Like I'm almost to that point where I kind of feel like, even just for the accountability, but I don't know. Also because there's so many different like opinions. Like some people say pick one platform and go all in on it. Some people say just put your content on one platform and then push it out to all the others. Some people say go all, but I don't know, dude. It is hard. The one I struggle with the most is TikTok. Like I could do Instagram and Facebook all day long. TikTok bugs me the fuck out.
Like, is it okay to just have your Facebook and your Instagram linked up so they share because there's different people on both? Because it's really overwhelming when you think about having to have that responsibility to post on 3 different platforms multiple times a day. Like, I don't know anybody that can make that happen while they're actually selling homes and running their businesses.
Well, so here's what I get confused about. Like, so on TikTok, for example, right? Like I posted some stupid post about skinny jeans and I got literally like 75,000 views.
So confusing.
Then I posted something, so it went finger quotes viral, but then I posted something about my business or real estate in a way that I thought would be interesting. And it got like no views, but I don't sell skinny jeans for a living. So it makes me just not even want to mess with TikTok because it's like, what is the point? Like, I feel like anything on TikTok that gets really, really big is like silly. It's not for business, but yet there are people who are making entire businesses on TikTok. So I think
the point of TikTok for realtors is the branding aspect. It's so that people get to know you and get you out there and get you in front of more people. But then you have to do something to get them to whatever platform it is that you want them to really see, which is different content. Otherwise, you're just going to get a whole bunch of people that like the way you dance on TikTok, and they're not really going to hire you as a realtor for that reason, unless you're getting that message out that you're also a realtor, because it's really hard to do that while you're dancing, I guess. So I don't know. I'm not a dancer.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's an interesting one. I do feel like there's an overwhelming amount of social media and like we all want to do it really well. Like I'm a little bit of annoyed that I've been on Facebook and Instagram for like 15 plus years and I'm not verified and I'm never going to get verified, right? Like, and then some people like do it right away, but I was just thinking in my mind, like the people that I can think of who are in our space, who are verified, who are like killing it on social media, they had to have had a coach or a branding expert at some point in time. Because when I'm thinking through in my mind, the content that they're putting out, it is very
formulaic, probably
formulated, curated, beautiful, right? So I'm not saying they're not being authentic. I'm just saying like
somebody else might be doing it.
They had help if they're not doing it themselves, right? Like somebody definitely helped them. And
I'm hiring somebody right now that's going to just follow me around and take video and turn it into a commercial and turn it into social media posts for me. Like, I just don't have the time to do that kind of thing anymore. So, I didn't think of hiring a coach for that. I just hired who I knew, which was, a couple of media professionals that, are going to follow me around and check out the jobs that we work on and see what we do every day, because I feel like that's a fun thing to talk about because most people romanticize this industry and, they never show agents picking up dog shit because that's what we actually do,
I think it's interesting. We've had the last few episodes have kind of followed a similar theme by total accident. So we had on Joe Herrera who talked about make sure that your message is correct, right? Like he was basically saying like, if you want your ideal client to be this, then don't post stuff that isn't for your ideal client, right? And then we had on Lauren Taylor who talked to us about TikTok a little bit, and then we had on JJ who talked about stuff today. So yeah, I mean, I feel like social media is the new way of the world. Like we're not getting away from that.
Yeah.
I think we all need to be better students of it, maybe hire people that can help us with it.
Yeah. And I think consistency too is really the key, like with anything, like it might not work the first 15 times you do it and you might feel really stupid, but by the time people start watching it, like your 16th time through your 30th time this month, I bet you're going to get really freaking good at it. Or at least you're going to feel a lot more comfortable when you're doing it. It's not going to come across that you're really nervous or, scared about it. And it's going to help you in your personal life when you're talking to clients. You're going to have a lot more confidence in front of them. because that's what you're doing. You're training yourself how to be more confident. That's all these videos are. So if you struggle with confidence, the best way to do it is to challenge yourself to a 30-day challenge and do that kind of thing. And then what happens if after 30 days, you keep doing it? Because now it's a habit.
Well, it's just like you just said, like JJ just said, like if you go to McDonald's once and the fries are shitty and not crispy, do you never go to McDonald's again?
No. And I will 100% eat those shitty fries, and I will watch your shitty TikTok or whatever. I'll still watch it. I don't care. Because to me, you're putting yourself out there. So that's all I care about. And your clients, that's all they should care about. They're going to probably look it up and see if you have a TikTok or you have an Instagram. Doesn't matter if you're actually like.
I found it really interesting. Like you said, Insta is where a lot of people go to vet people now instead of Facebook. That is interesting to me. But yeah, I mean, this has been top of my mind for like weeks now, months now, actually, because,
yeah,
we all need to be doing a better job at it. But I mean, like how many, truly like think really hard about it. How many real estate agents can you say are killing social media?
Like 10.
I don't even think okay.
Maybe 5, like really killing it. I don't know.
I would say maybe 5. Like for sure, I know 3 or 4, but I would say maybe 5. So like, what did we talk about last week, right? Like finding the hole in the market, finding the opportunity where other people aren't doing things correctly. Yeah. What an opportunity right there. It's just all we have to figure out how to do it, right? So that's where hiring.
We know how to do it. We just have to figure out how to get over ourselves and put ourselves out there and be vulnerable, which is what most people don't want to do. I know I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't need anything else for people to pick on me about, right? But it's going to help you ultimately. You're going to have to get used to taking criticism because we take it every day. We take no's every day. But by putting yourself out there, you're probably going to have that client that's like, yeah, I want to work with that person. They're not scared. They're going to do anything they can to get my house marketed properly. They're going to be out there trying whatever they can, different tactics than somebody else might not. So you never know. You never know who's watching. So,
yeah, I mean, I just don't think, it's so funny. Like when I first came up in the business somewhere between like 15 and 20-ish years ago, the number one thing that everyone wanted to talk about was websites. How's your website? Is your website good? Your website. Do you have an IDX on your website? That was like, we spent all of our time building websites. And now I feel like I don't even go on a website.
No.
Like the only time I'm ever really, really, really on a website is like to buy airline tickets and to like book a hotel, like something where I need to like sit down with my brain fully in my head on a computer and like really pay attention to. Otherwise, I'm looking at everything pretty much on either social media or through an app, but it completely changed. Like back then, people didn't buy and sell houses from people because of your internet presence, your social media presence. They 1,000,000% do now, especially if you're a millennial, you're after the millennial crowd, right? I mean, what's the first thing that you do when you meet someone new?
Add them to your social media.
Go stalk them, see what they post on, right? Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing, like if I was going to hire JJ, right? Like that's the very first thing that I would do is I would go look him up on social media, and I would go look him up on, on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. And I mean, it's incredible, right? Like, by the way, 1.1 million followers.
It's crazy. I would go and look up the people that hire him for coaching and what their presence is. That's what I would do.
Interesting. But again, his social media is very clearly, this does not look like mine. I don't know how else to say it. This does not look like a blind 3-year-old did it in the dark, right? Like, and I used to think I was really good at social media, but this is not. Like, this is on a completely different caliber of what mine is right now, right? Like, I'm still posting like memes and things, and he is doing a lot of video. He's got a very clear, I mean, everyone should go look him up. It's JAYJAY, JAYJAY live. He's got a very clear brand. And I think that's the difference is the agents who have the brand, right, are
Yeah.
they're going way further forward than those of us that don't right now. I'm just looking, you know. I mean, yeah, it's no reason. Like, I can see why he has 1.1 million followers, because his social media looks really, really good. And mine does not look really, really good. In fact, his makes me look embarrassed. And he's live a lot. So I think we should totally do a 30-day live challenge.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it'll help everybody figure out what to post, because if you have a block or something, just follow what somebody else is doing, and that'll help you out a ton.
Except for that means we have to go live for 30 days.
That is true.
Which is scary, right? Like, what do we talk about? That's the biggest thing.
That's what everybody says, right? It's like, it's hard to figure out what to talk about. So we'll fail, and you can watch us fail, and then you can fail a little bit yourself, and then eventually we're going to get really good at it. So
I think he's right. You just have to jump into the deep end. You got to jump into the deep end one of two ways. Either you jump into the deep end, you're going to figure it out on your own, or you're going to jump into the deep end. You're going to hire a phenomenal marketing, branding, social media coach like a JJ, right? So you got to either put your money where your mouth is and hire a coach, or you got to put your camera where your mouth is and go online and figure that shit out by yourself.
Yep.
But I think it's not an option to not do it anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I can't find him, because all I found is a bunch of people that are not him. Not even close.
JJ Live. First, we have to teach Angela how to work the.
I'm trying to use the web. It's bad. Is he on the Facebooks, or is he on a different platform?
He's probably on. I was looking on Instagram, but yeah, he's on TikTok. Let's see. On TikTok, he has hundreds of thousands of followers, right? So, like, yeah, I mean, who doesn't want hundreds of thousands of followers on their social media, right? We got to get better at this stuff. And it's interesting to me, like I said, that like we keep running across this topic here on this show, even though we're not meaning to, which is a clear like sign from the universe that this is something that's really important going into the future. I mean, people don't look at your website anymore. They might look at it when it's time to sit down and like look at houses. Most of the time they're looking at houses on Zillow or realtor.com or Redfin. Yeah. Let's be totally honest, but they are finding you because of your social media presence, right? So
right, yeah, that's how they're gonna find you, by what you're putting out there. So
I don't even think it's an age thing anymore. Like, my mom looks people up on social media.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, like most people, like everybody says, like they're gonna hire the first realtor they see, or the one they think of first is the one that they've seen most recently. And what are they on most often? They're on social media. So if they're not seeing their realtor, they're probably seeing somebody that's really good at social media, and necessarily going to be you.
Interesting. So, yeah, I think the kind of last thing I would like to say is we are in the culture of the influencers, and there are a lot of influencers out there who make a lot of noise. But like JJ said, they do not have the wins on the board to back it up. So I would not be intimidated by social media right now, as far as like the people who have the blue check or the number of likes or the number of followers, because I'm telling you guys, like, I have met or talked to a lot of those people. You can look at, there was actually, while I was in Dallas, there was a conversation about this going on in the car, on like in an Uber on the way to dinner. And somebody was talking about one of the Instagram finger quote celebrities in the San Diego area, which is where someone who was in the car with us lived. And they were saying that they have like 10 million followers on Instagram, and they have the blue check, and they were like, I can't even compete with that person, so I'm not even going to do Instagram. I'm not even going to try. And this guy in the back seat was like, yeah, but here's the thing. That guy may have 10 million followers and he might have the blue check, but he hasn't sold a house in 3 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So like JJ said, I would not get intimidated by the numbers of followers and likes and all that crap. I would just go out and do you, because you don't even know, in living in this like age of the influencer, if that person really has the nuts to back it up or not.
Right.
So if you have the nuts to back it up and you have the nuts to go out there and build the social media presence, like you would be like unstoppable. And like he said, tell your story. Tell your story about your wins and your expertise.
Yep.
That was fun. I love his accent. I'm going to go practice being Australian for the rest of the day.
I know, I wish I could even fake that accent, but I can't.
Goodbye, mate. Sorry, JJ. That was terrible.
That was.
I almost said adios, mate, but then I was like, oh, that's really bad. All right. I am making a 30-day commitment to myself from this moment forward to get better at social media. For me, that's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
Yep. Me too. Ugh.
I know. I know. It's intense. Hey, do you know what's crazy? We did one live today.
Yeah, we did one live. I don't think this one counts.
The cat store's alive today. All right, guys, if anybody is out there and you guys are interested in joining us for some type of challenge that we will probably make up the rules to and post here in a little bit, join us. Please join us so that we're not out there all by ourselves looking like idiots and learning how to do things. Yes. Or go to aceofspadesagency.com and figure out how to hire JJ, because I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be going on his website here and looking into it myself today. So we love you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye. Angela and Lindsay would love to receive your real estate referrals in Colorado. Connect with the Homegirls on social media at The Real Homegirls Podcast.